The sun was already bleeding into the horizon when Lena, a quiet, soft-spoken photographer in her late 20s, arrived at the forgotten Ashwick Orphanage. Her assignment was simple: document the abandoned building for an art exhibition on lost places. As she unlocked the rusted front gate, the local caretaker handed her a keyring without making eye contact. "Photograph what you want," he muttered, then paused. "Just don't go near the mirror room." His voice cracked slightly, but Lena chalked it up to local superstition. She offered a tight smile, nodded, and stepped inside. The orphanage smelled of ash and mildew. Toys lay scattered across cracked tile floors. Children's drawings still clung to the walls like ghosts of joy. As Lena wandered through the empty halls, her camera clicked rhythmically, like a heartbeat. But as she reviewed her photos, her blood ran cold. In the corner of one frame, in a darkened hallway, stood a small girl in a nightgown, staring directly at the lens. She spun around, heart pounding, but the hallway was empty. Shaken, she wandered into a burned-out dormitory. The beds were blackened, metal frames melted. A photo lay on the floor, charred at the edges. She picked it up carefully. It showed a group of orphaned children smiling in front of the building. One of them was her. Younger, maybe 6. The same pale eyes. Same scar near the eyebrow. But she had no memory of ever being here. Suddenly, she heard a faint humming, a lullaby, coming from behind the walls. Following the sound, she came to a long hallway that hadn't been there moments ago. The lights flickered above. At the end of the corridor, a door sat crooked on its hinges. Dusty brass letters read, "Mirror Room." Lena reached for the doorknob and hesitated. Then the humming stopped. The silence was louder than the noise had been. She opened the door. Inside was a perfectly round room, walls lined top to bottom with antique mirrors. Some cracked, others foggy. As she stepped in, the air grew cold. Her breath fogged. She looked at her reflection, except it wasn't moving. Her reflection just stood there, staring, smiling. She stumbled backward, heart hammering in her chest. The mirrors began to ripple, like water. In each pane, different images flashed, not reflections, but memories. She saw herself, younger, coughing in smoke. A child's voice cried behind a door. She watched her small hand lock it. The truth slammed into her. She hadn't come here for art. She'd come here because this is where she was from, one of the few children who escaped the orphanage fire 20 years ago. She had survived by locking the others inside. Her guilt had buried the memory, but this place remembered. And now, it was making her remember, too. The door slammed shut behind her. She ran, but the hallway looped. Every turn brought her back to the mirror room. Her flashlight flickered out. Shadows moved without her. The girl appeared again, now standing inches from the glass, watching with hollow eyes. "You left us," the girl whispered from inside the mirror. Lena screamed, banging on the walls, trying to shatter them, but the glass wouldn't break. Her reflection morphed, showing versions of her, as a child, as a burned corpse, as a crying woman screaming into flames. Then she saw herself again, standing outside the burning orphanage, watching, doing nothing. The girl stepped forward. Her hand pressed against the glass. "Your turn," she said softly. Lena tried to run, but froze. Her body stopped responding. She watched, horrified, as her reflection blinked and walked away. Suddenly, she was trapped behind the mirror. She pounded on the glass, screaming. No sound escaped. Outside the mirror, she watched her own body, her reflection, calmly pick up the camera and walk out of the room, emotionless. Time passed. The screen fades to black. A door creaks open. A new person enters, a man, also a photographer. He speaks into his recorder. "Ashwick Orphanage. Been abandoned since the fire in 2005. They say it's haunted." He walks slowly through the halls, taking pictures, humming a soft tune. Eventually, he finds the mirror room. The mirrors are quiet now, until he leans in close to one pane. Behind the glass, Lena's face is still there, eyes wide, silently screaming. He doesn't see her, but the mirror begins to ripple. Suddenly, his reflection tilts its head, but he doesn't. Confused, he backs away. His camera drops. The last thing we see is his horrified face as the door slams shut behind him. A whisper echoes. Everyone brings something. The mirror just shows what you hide. Then, darkness.